Vayichan sham Yisrael neged ha'har, ahar kulanu ke'echad.
Chodesh Tov, everybody, and it is so exciting to be all together, all over the world. Klal Yisrael, Vayichan sham Yisrael neged ha'har, ki ish echad v'leiv echad. What a special, special opportunity it is for me. I thank Yeshivat Hakotel for inviting me to be part of this. It is truly an incredible opportunity for me to be here with you on this very special and momentous occasion, and it is my utmost tefillah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a tremendous amount of nachas from us joining together, and the Chodesh should bring bracha for everyone in Klal Yisrael and for the whole entire world. So I want to talk today about the holiday that we are about to approach and understand what it's all about. Because you know what? I always say, of the least observed of Jewish holidays, it actually is Chag HaShavuos. And why is it that this is such a scarcely observed, really only by the Orthodox community? Whereas we might even say Sukkot a little bit here and there in other movements, but Shavuos very not understood. And if anything, in Israel, because they celebrate all the Jewish holidays, we've popularized the dairy aspect of the holiday, but really that's not what it's about. And there's a very clear reason as to why possibly our not yet observant brethren really do not celebrate this holiday. What is this holiday about? This holiday, according to Rav Avram Shor of the Lechach Valibov Shlita, he says this holiday is the bar mitzvah of Klal Yisrael. This is the day that we are saying, Hareini Mekabel Alai, O Malchus Shamayim. I am accepting today that I'm going to observe God's rules, commandments, and the commandments of the Torah. This is the day of our saying we're entering a relationship. In fact, we know that the Torah calls this Yom Tov, Zman Matan Torah Seinu, the day we were given the Torah. But we call it the time we had Kabbalah Torah, we accepted the Torah. And that this Torah really is a dual relationship. It's a bris, and it's mentioned throughout Torah that it's a bris, it's a treaty between two parties. God gave, we accepted. And that there is something so special in that relationship. And I'm just reminded of a story of somebody in this neighborhood as a local Rebbetzin. There's a local store that enjoys giving me dresses. And she calls me every once in a while, the proprietress of this store, and she says to me, Rebbetzin Feiner, you haven't been here in a while. It's time to get a new dress. And I said to her, I said, so-and-so, I just don't like taking. She said, you have to restate this. You're not taking. Sometimes somebody else wants to give. What you need to know is how to receive. And that's what happened at Har Sinai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had this matana tova, this wonderful gift called Torah that he wanted to give Klal Yisrael. And we said, Naseh v'nishma. So that it really is beautiful to understand it as the bar mitzvah of Klal Yisrael. It's the time when we grew up and said, we're ready, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We want it. And at the same time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, and I chose you. I want you to have it. So it's that dual relationship of we want it and he wants us to have it. And I want to look at it, and I want to look at the positivity that we can go forward to this Yom Tov with in understanding the difficult time that we're in and how we can grab into something positive to take with us. My husband loves to tell the story of a Jew who ran into the Chazon Ish Zatzal on some Chag, and he met him, and he looked so despondent, and he looked so sad, and he looked so down. And he said, what's wrong? And he said, oh, this is wrong in my life, and that's wrong in my life, and this is so hard, and this is so hard. And he said, did you daven today? He said, yeah. You know what we say on every Yontif? Ata bechartanu mikol ha'amim, you chose us from all the nations. Ahavta osanu, ratzisa banu, you loved us, you wanted us. You wanted us? How could a Jew say that and be sad? This is the holiday when we said, God, we want you, and God said, I want you, Klal Yisrael. You are my chosen people. And I'm going to quote you from the Yisod V'Shoresh Ha'avodah that Rav Matisyahu Salman quotes in his Sefer Matnas Chaim. Yisod V'Shoresh Ha'avodah, Rav Zvan Zliskin lived in the 18th century, and he says, what is the focus of the tefillah of Ata B'chartanu Mikol Ha'amim? And he says that the tefillah of Ata B'chartanu Mikol Ha'amim is really preceding a tefillah that's going to come later, which is, you chose us from all the nations, Ramamtanu Mikol Ha'lashonos, but what's coming next is going to be Ya'aleh V'Yavo. And he says, how does that fit together? How does that fit together? So he says, you did choose us from everybody, but look what's going on in the world. And again, he wrote this in the 18th century. Anu shveilim v'nivzim yoter mikol ha'umos. We are the most despised nation, and we may come out with the vaccine first, and they still will never give us credit. Right? So we are the most despised nation in the world. You chose us. And we're in this bitter galus. And we say to you, Hashem, you chose us. And what do we want? After we remind you that you chose us, Ya'aleh v'yavo v'yagia v'yira'eh v'yiratzeh. Let us go up and say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you chose us. What's going on? Bring us back. Please bring us back. And he says, V'niskor, and we should remember, B'chag HaKadosh Hazeh, that we should remember on this holiday, Ki hayamim ha'ela nizkarim v'na'asim hit'oruvitz gadol ba'olamot ha'elyonim. There is a great reawakening in the world. The kolos and brakim, the thunder and lightning that happened at Har Sinai, we're almost re-experiencing it now as we approach Chag HaShavuos. And this is the time that when we're davening that we say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we want, like they stood at Har Sinai and they said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we want. That's how we're saying we want. And Rav Matisyahu shares something so beautiful, an insight that I had never seen. A little bit of Torah on eating dairy on Chag HaShavuos. And he says something fantastic. He says, we can learn more about this from the Inyan of Chalavi, like what was their mindset as they stood at Har Sinai? And he says their mindset as they stood at Har Sinai was, Na'aseh v'nishma. They didn't know the laws. What is a Jew who doesn't know the laws, but has some inkling as to what's coming? I know, I'm in the kitchen, right? What are they going to eat? Can we eat meat? We don't know what kind of knives we need. We don't know what kind of animals we can eat. We don't know how to shech the animals. Let's just stick with the milk and the cheese. And he says, that is, and he heard this, he says he heard this b'shem gadol acher. This is the Torah at Har Sinai. And it's interesting, he says, Rav Sadia Gaon says that from the Aseret HaDibros, they knew all the mitzvahs, but they didn't know the details yet. So they were at this point where they were just trying. Hashem, we just want to try. We want to do your mitzvahs as best as we can. Remez to eating chalavi. And on Shavuos, we celebrate the fact that Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu. Hashem, you gave us your mitzvahs. We want to do as best as we can. We want to make it as best as we can. And another tefillah that I want to look at for the remaining time that we have is a tefillah that is so mikushar, even though we say it every day, to this holiday. And it is the tefillah of Ahava Rabbah, which we say preceding Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Which is actually our Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shamayim. If we're going to say that Shavuos is our bar mitzvah, then Shema Yisrael is Hashem Elok. When we accept Ol Malchus Shamayim every day by saying the Shema Yisrael, we're actually having an aspect of Shavuos every day, of Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shamayim, and it's always preceded by the bracha of Ahava Rabbah. What is Ahava Rabbah about? We begin the bracha of Ahava Rabbah, we say, Hashem, you loved us. That's why you gave us your Torah. We trust you that that's why you gave us your Torah. It's good for us, and we want it. Ba'avur avoseinu shebatchu b'cha. We say, Hashem, have mercy and help us learn for the fact that we come from those people who stood there, who trusted you, who really were the ones who said, Na'aseh v'nishma. We don't know what this is about. We're going to take it anyway. V'talandeim chukei chayim. And you taught them. And you taught them. They accepted and you taught them. We really can't even conceive what that means. They didn't know what it was. They said, we'll take it. We want it. Ba'avur avosenu shebatchu b'cha. For our sake of our fathers who trusted you, v'tlamdein chukei chayim, and you taught them the laws of life, kein tichanenu l'tlamdenu. Teach us too. We also want to learn. And teach us to love it and to want it. And that's how the bracha continues on. But he quotes the Sefer Siach Yitzchak from the Siddur HaGra, who says, Ki ha'ikar ma shekasher la'adam. What's the hardest for a person? And is l'kabel chok Hashem yisbarach kasher lo nidbar v'na'amait b'libo. I don't understand it. Why should I do it? Right? This is hard for a person. Alkei malei lev ha'adam tirdos v'bilbul das, and I'm all confused. And I don't want it. And we have this all the time, right? We have this feeling, right? I don't get that one. I don't want it. We say, Ba'avur avosenu shebatchu b'cha. They trusted you. They said, Na'aseh before nishma. This is something supernatural. This is something so antithetical to a person, right? What does a kid say? You ask them to do something, and what's the first thing they say? But why? Why do you want me to do it? And you need to give them a good reason why they're not going to do it, right? This is a nature of a person. Why? Why should I do it? Na'aseh. V'ulam avosenu. What did our fathers do? Batchu b'cha. Bitachon shalem. They had complete faith. Limsor kol yanenu elav yisbarach. Hashem, we give it all to you. We trust you. V'kiblu masha avar aleim beratzon shalem. And they said they want it. They want it, right? And we know that the Medrash tells us the nations of the world, what was their first question? What's in it? We said, give it to us. Ba'avur avosenu shebatchu b'cha. They trusted you. V'tlamdim chukei chayim. And you gave us something that's life. It's chayim hi lamachazikim ba. I believe it's life. I know it's life. It's my life. You will not absorb a Torah unless you believe in that Torah. You believe in what it is, and you believe in its message. And after all the bakashos in Ahava Rabbah, we say, V'havi'enu l'sholom me'arba kanfos ha'aretz v'solichenu kamamiyas le'atzenu. This is the hope of all hopes. Bring us in shalom from the four corners of the earth, and bring us to our land. You know, one of the factors that so struck me in this coronavirus that we're encountering right now is there has never been in the history of the world any kind of epidemic or war that really touched Arba Kanfos Haaretz. And we now see clearly Hashem's koach over Arba Kanfos Haaretz. So we can believe He has koach everywhere. He can bring us tolichenu v'avienu l'shamar arba kanfos haaretz v'tolichenu kamamiyas le'artzenu. We should walk in throngs with our heads held up high to our land. Kikel poel yeshuos ata. Because you do amazing things, God. You do amazing things, God. Hashem, please redeem us. We followed you. We want you. We trust you. We're now reading the Svarim in Sefer Bamidbar, and a most uplifting message that I heard in the name of Rebbetzin Waxman from Monsey. She's quoted the pasuk in Yirmiyahu where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, "Zacharti la chesed neurayich ahavas kilulosayich." I remember the chesed you did for me when you were young. What did you do? Lech teich acharai bamidbar be'eretz lo zarua. You walked after me into the midbar in an uncharted land. You didn't know what you were going to eat. You didn't know what you were going to wear. You didn't know what you were going to sleep in. You didn't know anything. And you said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we'll go. We'll do. This is, Hashem says, I remember this was such a chesed, this was such a love that you had for me. Hashem says, this is a love you had for me. And we say, Ahava Rabba Aftanu, you loved us. It's a dual relationship. Both ways, we choose Him, He chooses us. She says, now what are we doing? We don't know what's going to be next week. We don't know what's going to be in the summer. We don't know what's going to be next year. We don't know if there's going to be camp. We don't know if there's going to be school. We don't know what weddings are going to be. We don't know what dinners are going to be. We don't know. We walk after Hashem blindly. Hashem says that's the biggest chesed. Because our fathers trusted you, we say, why? Kikel poel yeshuos ata, because you do amazing things. Let's finish the tefillah. Ubanu bacharta mikol am v'lashon. And you chose us from everybody. You chose us from everybody. You wanted us. Habocher bi'amo Yisrael bi'ahava. You chose us with love, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You chose us with love. Quotes the Maharal, who says in Netzach Yisrael something fantastic. Noach, Ish Tzaddik, is chosen, one individual, one person, because of his ma'asim, because of his actions. He's an Ish Tzaddik, so Hashem says, I chose you, you saved the world. But Klal Yisrael, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu recognizes Avraham, Uvanu v'acharta mikol am v'lashon, we are now all part of Avram's chosen nation. It's klali, it's general. That was a specific choosing for Noach. Klali, uvanu v'acharta, you chose all of us. You chose us, this whole Yisrael neged hahar, all the nation, the whole nation, all of their descendants forever and ever, and anybody who will choose to join us are part of that chosen nation. And he says, this is the Bechira B'Ummah HaYisraeli. So, Meretz Hashem, we should live to see B'Solichenu Kamamios La'artzenu Ki Kel Poel Yeshuos Ata. We should see Simchos and Yeshuos and good things. In Meretz Hashem, we will stand together Neged HaMikdash B'Mheira V'Yameinu. Thank you.